Over 100 years ago, a group of anonymous authors published a book that claimed to hold the master keys to reality itself. They called it the Kybalion. No signed names, no credentials, just 7 laws, they said, govern everything. Your thoughts, your relationships, your luck, your health. Most people who read it get lost in the mysticism. Today, I want to do something different. Explain what these 7 laws actually mean in plain language and how you can start using them today without turning this into empty spirituality. If you're new here, I'm Aura Despierta, and this channel is about grounded, practical spiritual growth. Let's get into it. Before the laws, context. Hermeticism traces back to a legendary figure named Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes the thrice great. Whether he was one person, a title passed down through generations, or a symbol for a whole tradition of thought is still debated. What matters is what got left behind, a philosophy that treats the universe as intelligent, ordered, and understandable, not through blind faith, but through observation and reasoning. The Kybalion, published anonymously in 1908, condensed that tradition into 7 principles. Not commandments, laws, meaning they operate whether you believe in them or not, the same way gravity does. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This is the foundation the other 6 laws build on. The claim is simple, but heavy. Everything you experience as reality first exists as thought, either your own or the mind of something far larger. Practically, this means your inner world isn't separate from your outer one. The quality of your thinking shapes the quality of your life, not in a manifest a Lamborghini way, but in a much more grounded sense. Your beliefs filter what you notice, what you tolerate, and what you build. Think about 2 people who lose the same job on the same day. One walks away believing, "I'm not good enough. This proves it." The other believes, "This wasn't the right fit. Something better is coming." Same event, completely different chain of decisions, conversations, and opportunities that follow from that single mental filter. Neither of them controlled the layoff, but the mind each one brought to it shaped everything downstream. Practical application. Before reacting to a stressful event today, pause and ask, is this the event or my interpretation of it? That gap is where this law lives. As above, so below. As below, so above. Patterns repeat across scales. The way you handle a small conflict often mirrors how you'd handle a big one. The structure of an atom echoes the structure of a solar system. Your relationship with your body often reflects your relationship with your environment. Here's a very ordinary example. Someone who lets small resentments build up silently at work, never saying anything, just absorbing it, will usually do the exact same thing in their closest relationships. It's not 2 separate behaviors. It's one pattern showing up at 2 different scales. That's correspondence in action. The small version of a pattern is a preview of the large version, and the large version is a magnified echo of the small one. Practical application. Look at one recurring pattern in your life, a type of conflict, a type of person you keep attracting. That pattern is data. It's showing you something about your internal above that keeps producing the same external below. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Modern physics actually backs this one up loosely.
Everything, down to subatomic particles, is in constant motion. Emotionally, this shows up as states. Anxiety has a different frequency than calm. Anger moves differently than grief. You've probably felt this without naming it. You walk into a room where two people just had an argument, and you feel it before anyone says a word. The air itself seems different. That's not superstition. It's you picking up on a vibrational state through tone, posture, micro-expressions. The Kybalion just gives that everyday experience a name and a framework. Practical application. You can't force a feeling to disappear, but you can shift its vibration through movement, breath, music, or changing your environment. This is the actual mechanism behind why a walk outside changes your mood. It's not magic, it's motion changing state. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Hot and cold aren't different things. They're the same phenomenon, temperature, at different points on a scale. Love and hate operate the same way. This law suggests you don't eliminate a negative state by fighting it. You shift your position on the same spectrum.
This is why just stop being afraid or just stop being angry never actually works. You're trying to teleport to the opposite pole instead of sliding along the scale you're already on. Someone terrified of public speaking rarely jumps straight to confident. But they can move from terrified to nervous, from nervous to steady, from steady to comfortable, degree by degree on the same spectrum, until one day they're closer to the other pole than they ever thought possible. Practical application. Instead of trying to kill fear before a hard conversation, aim to move it a few degrees toward courage. Same spectrum, different point. That's more achievable than an all-or-nothing switch. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Motivation isn't constant. Neither is grief, energy, or momentum. This law says the swing itself is normal. Expecting permanent highs, or fearing permanent lows, fights against how reality actually moves. Think of the seasons. Nobody panics that spring isn't working when winter arrives. We understand it's part of a cycle that always comes back around. But people panic constantly about their own internal winters, as if a low period means something is permanently broken. Grief works this way too. It doesn't disappear in a straight line. It comes in waves, easing and returning, until the waves eventually get further apart. Practical application. Track your own rhythm instead of resisting it. If you know your energy dips every few weeks, plan lighter weeks in advance instead of treating the dip as failure. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Chance is just a name for law not yet recognized. Nothing happens in isolation. What looks random is usually a cause you haven't traced yet. A pattern, a decision, an unspoken belief. I always end up with people who don't respect my time. Feels like bad luck when you say it fast. Slow it down, and there's usually a cause hiding in plain sight. Maybe it's never being clear about your own boundaries in the first place, so people never learn where the line is. The event repeats because the cause was never addressed, not because the universe has it out for you. Practical application. Next time you say, "This always happens to me," get specific. Trace back 1 or 2 steps. Usually there's a decision point you skipped past too quickly to notice. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This isn't about biological sex. It's about 2 energetic modes present in everyone. A generative, active, outward mode, and a receptive, intuitive,
inward one. Creation requires both, not just the spark, but the space that lets it grow. You see this in something as ordinary as a creative project. The idea, the spark, is the active principle. But nothing gets made without the receptive principle too. Sitting with the idea, letting it develop, giving it space instead of forcing it out half-formed. People who only know how to push, push, push often burn out or produce something rushed. The ones who know how to alternate, act, then receive, then act again, tend to build things that last. Practical application. Notice which mode you default to. If you're always doing, practice receiving, rest, listening, letting something come to you instead of chasing it. How these laws work together. None of these 7 laws work in isolation. That's actually the point. Mentalism sets the stage. Everything starts as thought. Correspondence shows you the pattern. Vibration and polarity give you the mechanism to shift it. Rhythm tells you to expect the shift to take time, not happen instantly. Cause and effect reminds you that your actions today are tomorrow's pattern. And gender reminds you that change needs both action and space to actually take root. You don't need to memorize all 7 to use this. Most people find 1 or 2 laws that speak to whatever they're working through right now, and that's enough to start. 7 laws. None of them ask you to believe in anything you can't test in your own life. That's the actual value of Hermetic philosophy. It's less a belief system and more a set of lenses you can pick up, look through, and check against your own experience. If this resonated, I go much deeper into practical spirituality, Hermeticism, astrology, and grounded inner work on this channel. Subscribe if you want to keep exploring this with me.